Do you think you can find the integer solutions to these equations? Let's do it together and let's see what A, B, and C will be equal to. Now, we have two equations here. AB plus C is equal to 2020 and A plus BC is equal to 2021. So let's call this equation 1 and call this equation 2. So from here, we can decide to say equation 2 minus equation 1. Okay, let's do that. So equation 2 minus equation 1. Okay, so that will be A plus BC. That's from here, the equation 2, right? Minus equation 1. A plus BC minus AB plus C, all right? And this is equal to what? 2021, because we are doing equation 2 minus equation 1. Minus what? 2020. Okay, good. Now, let us remove this bracket from here. So this will be A plus BC minus AB. Now, this is minus what? C again. So minus C. And this is equal to, what is 2021 minus 2020? That is 1. Moving on. Now, what I'm going to do next is to see how I can rearrange this so that I can factorize easily. So see what I'm trying to say. You know, this is A right here, right? You cannot factorize this two because there's nothing common. But when I decide to write A minus AB, now I have something common, which is A. So let me rearrange it and also put BC and negative C together. So that will be what? A minus AB, and then what? Plus this BC minus C. Again, they have something common, which is C here. And this is equal to 1. So what's going to be the next thing from here? I am going to now factorize, like I said before. So look at these first two terms. What's common? A is common. So we factor out A. A into A is 1. We write 1 here, minus A into AB is what? Is B. Then plus, what about this one? What's common? C is common. Let's factor C out. So you have B minus 1, right? Because C into C is 1. And this is equal to 1. But we cannot factorize any further when we have something like this. This is 1 minus B. But this is what? B minus 1. So, but we can negate this while changing the signs of the terms here. So if I negate this plus C here, I'm going to also negate what I have in the bracket. The reason why I will negate what I have in the bracket is because I want it to be like this, where you have negative 1 become 1 and B become what? Negative B. So let's negate. Now, this will be what? A bracket 1 minus B. Remember, I am negating this. So we have to negate plus C to what? Negative C. And then if you negate this, you have minus B, then plus 1. See, I've not changed anything because it's still going to be the same thing. Let me show you something. So see, minus C times minus B will give you what? CB. We give you plus CB. And the same thing here. When you do plus C times B, you get BC. All right. Then what about negative C times 1? That will give you what? Negative C. But you come here and you do plus C minus 1, you get what? Negative C. So nothing has changed. Of course, you know the reason why I decided to negate this. So I have A bracket 1 minus B, then minus C. I want to now rearrange this so it will look exactly like this. Now that will be what? 1 minus B. You know 1 minus B is the same thing as what? Negative B plus 1. So this is equal to 1. Now we have what we have in the bracket that is common. This is 1 minus B. This is what? 1 minus B. So we can factorize again. So that will be what? 1 minus B in bracket. And then what? A minus C. A minus C. This is equal to what? 1. So what are we going to do next from here? The question you ask yourself is, what would be the product of two numbers, two integers that will give you 1? What would be the product of two integers? Because see, we are interested only in the integer solutions, right? So we're not considering any other number apart from integers. So you think of two integers that will multiply themselves to give you 1. And that will only be what? Minus 1 times minus 1 is what? 1. Then 1 times 1 is what? 1. So this and this will give us 1. So what does that tell you? It tells you that 1 minus b will be equal to 1 or negative 1. A minus c will be equal to 1 or negative 1 because of what I've just shown you here. So see, you can do like this and do like this, and then you see this, or do like this and do like this, and then do like this. Does this make sense at all? Yes. So we are now going to have some equations from all of this now, which is 1 minus b is equal to 1, or what? A minus c is equal to 1. All right. And let this be the set of the first solution. Okay. And the other one will be what? Maybe I should write it here. The other one will be what? 1 minus b is equal to, you know, we said it is equal to 1. It can also be equal to negative 1. Or you also have that what? That a minus c is equal to what? Negative 1. So this is the second solution set. Okay, so we have these two. But we now need to go get a, b, and c. Let's start from this first one here. We are going to pick this one here, which is what? 1 minus b is equal to 1. Let's pick that. Let's grab it. 1 minus b is equal to 1. If 1 minus b is equal to 1, I can decide to rearrange this. So I have 1. Take this one over to the left-hand side. You have minus 1. And this is equal to what? Minus b crosses over. You have what? B. So b is equal to what? 0. Because 1 minus 1 is what? 0. So we are now going to plug b is equal to 0 into any of the equations we have before. So we can use equation 1 or equation 2, but let's use equation 1 so that it will be easy for us to just get the value of c. Because if b is 0, it means that c will be equal to what? 2020. So here, a plus b plus c is equal to 2020. A plus b plus c, sorry, ab plus c, ab plus c is equal to 2020. So when you plug in b is equal to 0 here, you have a times 0, then plus c is equal to 2020. And then from here, you have that c is equal to what? 2020. So we've gotten the value of c, we have for b. What about a? We can get a from equation 2. I will not want to go back because of the back and forth, but we know that equation 2 is a plus bc is equal to what? 2021. This is equation 2. Okay. Now we have a, we have b, we have c. Let's plug it into this equation. So a is, we don't know that. B is what? 0, and c is 2020. So it also means that a, because 0 times 2020 was 0. So a is equal to 2021. So we have gotten the values of a, of b, and of c. We'll now write everything here. A is 2021, b is 2020, b is 0, and c is 2020. Let's go write them here like this. So here we have that a is equal to what? 2021, b is equal to what? 0, and c is equal to 2020. All right, so this is the first solution set. Let's now deal with this other one. Now I'm going to write this down so that we'll be able to see everything clearly. 1 minus b is equal to negative 1, and a minus c is equal to negative 1. Okay, let's write it here. So 1 minus b is equal to negative 1, and a minus c is equal to negative 1. Okay, so let's write the first equation again. What's the first equation? We have a, b plus c is equal to 2020, and a plus bc is equal to 2021. Again, equation 1, equation 2. So what will b be equal to here now? If you work this out, negative b, move it over to the left, to the right hand side, you have 1. Move negative 1 to the left hand side, you have plus 1. This is equal to what? Negative b crosses over, you have b. So here b is equal to what? 2. We're now going to plug in the value of b as 2 into these two equations. So let's quickly do that. Now that will be what? A, you know b is 2, right? From here. So 2a plus c is equal to 2020, and a plus b is 2, so 2c is equal to 2021. But the issue with this is that we have to solve simultaneously because we have two variables, a and c. We cannot just get any of them without solving simultaneously. So we can eliminate. We can simply say, if we want to get rid of this c here, I can multiply equation 1 by 2. Why we leave equation 2 as it is? Because if you multiply equation 1 by 2, you have c becoming 2c, and you can easily just eliminate. So 2 times 2a, that's 4a. So 4a plus 2 times c is what? 2c is equal to 2 times 2020 is what? 40. And then this is a plus 2c, that's equation 2 now, 2021. So we are going to subtract. Let's call this equation 3 and call this equation 4. So we subtract now. What is 4a minus a? That will be what? That will be 3a. And 2c minus 2c is what? 0. So this is equal to what? What is 40 minus 2020? That will be what? 2019. Okay, you can work that out. So we divide both sides by 3, and a will be equal to, what is 2019 divided by 3? Let me use my calculator. 2019 divided by 3, that is 673. So we have the value of a now. We can now get for b and for c. Which are we going to use now? Let's go use equation 1. So we can use this equation 1, okay, which is ab plus c is equal to 2020. So ab plus c is equal to 2020. Oh, it's even here, by the way. Or here, it's even here. Okay, so using that, we have that b is what? 2. B is 2. Okay, so we'll plug it in here. And a is what? 673. So 673 times 2, because b is 2. Then plus c is equal to 2020. All right. And from here, we can multiply this. What is 2 times 673? So that is 1,346. Then plus c is equal to 2020. Now I'm going to subtract this from both sides. And you have that c is equal to 2020 minus 1,346. And then here you can see that c is equal to what? 674. So we now have the values of a, b, and c also here. So what is a? A is 673, b is 2, b is 2, right? B is 2, and then c is 674. Let's put everything here. So we can say that what? A is 673, b is 2, and c is what? 674. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, kindly like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more content like this. And I hope to see you in the next one. It's bye for now.